Hello and welcome back to BlizzCon, the final day of the HGC Finals for 2018. My name is Kevin, and man, have we had an amazing matchup. That last one was incredible. Let's hear it one more time for Team Liquid on their amazing play. What an incredible game against Gen G. Gen G did manage to take the win. Gen G moves on, but Team Liquid played fantastically. We couldn't have asked for a better matchup there in the semifinals. We got one more semifinal matchup to go. This one is gonna be equally as amazing. Miracle versus Dignitas. I can't wait. Let's head on over to the desk to get it all started.
Indeed, we are but one match away from the one thing we have all been waiting for, the HGC Grand Finals, and a rematch of a match that's been in the making for a year. I'm Gillyweed here with Kaldor, Trixler, and Jayhow. There's one team that can keep that rematch from happening. Jayhow, what do you think of that last match? Because it was a hell of a match.
It was so crazy. Like, I was watching it backstage. I was tired of not feeling the energy, so I sat out here in the crowd and listening to these two guys. I mean, the hype is real behind that series. It was incredible, but Gen G, everybody was reminding me of 2 years ago, Kaldor, you and I, in almost this exact same scenario. It was like they went out on Braxis. Somebody's like, is it going to happen again? I'm like, oh my God, that did happen. But they clutched it out this time.
It was pretty impressive, to be honest. Like, that final map was just absolutely insane. The map chosen, the entire path towards it. Game 4, that Liquid actually turned it around in Game 4. I did not think that was possible after how dominant Gen G was in Game 2 and 3.
That series was exciting, and it was raining. I mean, you and I had to go eat chicken just to refuel for this matchup. Like, it was an amazing match, and now suddenly we're in a position where it's like, okay, can Dignitas and Miracle even match up to what we just saw?
That is the million-dollar question, because as we take a look at the bracket now, Miracle are going up against a team that, you know, we used to look at this matchup, Europe versus Korea, and we'd say, it's Korea, it's all the time. But Dignitas comes in, not even just a favorite for this match, but as one of the favorites for the whole tournament, Kaldor.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, ever since this squad formed, they have been so dominant. They've been playing so well, but when it comes to these grand finals, they so often just fell short that tiny little bit, and they of course want to finally overcome Gen G in particular and take them down here. And especially after what we've seen at the mid-season Brawl Grand Final, I think everyone's eyes were immediately locking onto the BlizzCon Finals, and everyone expected them to face off against each other once more. But Miracle yesterday looked pretty good.
And yesterday, we heard from Miracle, Trixler, and they said, Dignitas haven't beaten Gen G. We have.
That's a good point. I mean, Miracle is a team that is delivering in this entire tournament. So I hope that even though we're all kind of sitting here and saying, okay, we can't wait for that big rematch we've been wanting to see since the MSB, I hope that Dignitas is not in that mindset. Dignitas should be focusing on one game at a time. And I think that's echoed with the players. I've already talked to Poik a little bit, actually in the back, smiling, being normal as usual. And I was like, hey man, how's it going? Are you feeling pretty good about yourself? He goes, yeah, we're going for that 17-0. Because so far, they actually have not lost a map yet. So they're looking for a 3-0 today.
Well, Liquid made it as close as possible for Gen G. Do you feel like Miracle can do the same for Team Dignitas? Do you feel like Miracle can win versus Team Dignitas? A hungry, hungry Team Dignitas.
That's the thing, is that Dignitas is so strong. They're literally the best team, I think, here. After watching Gen G, it now seems like Dignitas seems like the favorite. And then I look at Miracle, a team that 6 months ago, everybody's like, Miracle. And then all of a sudden they formed this roster, they came together, they've had the studs start to come in. Nobody had broken through the top 3 in Korea, let alone the top 4. And Miracle just overtook everybody. Now they're one of 2 remaining Korean teams here. And I think for them, this might be that final step to where it's like, if we're going to prove it, this is it, because there's no bigger challenge than Dignitas. But for Dignitas, they are so strong. I'm on the Dignitas hype train for this tournament. I don't know if Miracle can make it past them.
Well, only one semifinal left, and Sniper and company are here to prove that only a Miracle can keep Team Dignitas from the Grand Finals.
In the semi-final against Miracle, I think they'll be very tough opponents. We're practicing against them a lot throughout our boot camp and even in the opening week. I think some of their upcoming talent like Frankel and Blue Beetle, while new to the BlizzCon stage, have performed very well throughout their time in the HGC and are very scary players to play against. So I think for sure it'll be a tough match.
The Miracle, they've shown a lot of prowess in what they do. They really synergize well together as a team. Honestly, their teamwork and their decisions they make like on the fly as a team is incredible. We're probably going to look to exploit that somehow, you know, take the skirmishes instead of the full-on team fighting that they're really incredible at. They're a bit of a wild card, you know. Not exactly sure what to expect, but we're confident we're going to beat them. We have little things up our sleeves and we're ready.
사실 디그리 차트라는 팀은 이렇게 4강에서 만날 게 아니고 결승에서나 봐야 되는 팀이라고 생각을 하는데 여기서 만나가지고 솔직히 승패를 떠나서 그냥 재미있는 경기를 하고 싶은 마음밖에 안 드네요. 승패를 떠나서 솔직히 실감이 안 나요. 상상은 해본 적이 있지만 실제로 해본 적이 없기 때문에 상상만 하고 있는데도 떨리고 그만큼 기대되기도 해요. 그 많은 사람들 앞에서 게임을 해서 잘하면 어떤 반응일지가 약간 기대하는 게 더 큰 것 같아요. 저희의 원래 목표는 결승전까지 가는 게 목표였는데 지금 조대진을 보니까 조대진이 너무 빡빡하더라고요. 그래가지고 4강까지만 가서 재밌게 경기할 수 있으면 더 바랄 게 없을 것 같아요.
Only got a couple more of these to go, so let's do it right now. Let's give a warm BlizzCon welcome to the team out of Korea. In the red corner, it's Miracle! All right, and in the blue, the best team from the EU. You know them, you love them. It's Team Dignitas! All right, captains, center stage to shake hands. Good luck, gentlemen. May the best team win. We're over to the desk. Let's go.
Both semifinal matches now, we've heard from the teams, the underdogs, in this case being Miracle, that why are we facing this team in anything but the grand finals? It's ridiculous. But I feel like that's such a great reference point and why we continue to talk about Gen G, Team Dignitas, Gen G, Team Dignitas. These two teams are titans.
But honestly, if Team Liquid has proven anything, it's you can't count any of the teams in the top 4 out, because that was an incredible performance, and we could actually look at Liquid in the grand final. So Miracle, yes, they should respect Dignitas, but I think they come in prepared. And this could very well go very differently from what we all expected coming into the tournament.
Yeah, that's a good point, because Liquid respects Gen G, but they didn't give them too much respect in the games. They fought them down talent tiers. They fought them when they needed to. They understood that they can't give too much respect or Gen G will walk all over them.
No, I gotta completely agree with you here. Miracle deserves to be here, and they've shown that multiple times. With their big win on Tempest yesterday, I will fully back them no matter what as a team. And they have power picks that I am so excited to come out today and play against Dignitas, in particular Nachogen in that Blaze. When he plays Bunker, most Blazes win a team fight when they use Bunker. He stops the opponents in their tracks, and I can't wait for him to pull that out. And then also, of course, Thrall for Sniper.
Sniper's been getting away with a lot on that Thrall. He's been making plays.
Perhaps.
He's the luckiest Crash Lightning Thrall I've seen in my life, dude. He finishes those stacks so quickly.
It's like that, but on the other side, I realize the one simple truth is that Nachogen, a BlizzCon champion, there's one person on this team of Dignitas that can't say that, but is regarded as the best player in that role, and that is Wubby. Wubby does things that nobody else does. I was talking to McIntyre about it last night, and it's just like, you do things, and all of a sudden you realize 5 seconds later, like, wait a minute, he just got me, and then all of a sudden it creates so much momentum for a team like Dignitas early in the game.
And I want to bring it back to that point that we heard from Miracle yesterday. Yes, Miracle have beaten Gen G when Team Dignitas have not. But Dig on LAN is a very real thing.
It definitely is. They build that momentum up, and they actually talked at the beginning of the season a lot about how they need to overcome a bit that problem that they oftentimes have in game number 1, where they need a little bit of a warm-up time. And so far, at least in online play in the regular season, they did do exactly that. But once he gets into the late stage of the tournament, they are just looking unbeatable, and they have to prove that today in this best of 5.
I would argue they've even done it in offlane. I mean, you look back to the Western Clash, they are 24-0 right now. They have not lost a single map offline. They are destructive right now. They are destroying anyone in their path, and I don't see them stopping anytime soon.
I wish I could argue that. This Dignitas team, I mean, every single thing I look at that they do, and I think, all right, Miracle's there. What can we get from Miracle?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, what does Dignitas not do better? So Miracle, they have enough firepower. We heard from Snitch. I've heard from Snitch when we were at Eastern Clash, and he was there as an analyst, and he was speaking about the power of Korea, and then he was talking about Frankel, who wasn't there, but it was a matter of, okay, we've got all of this firepower, all of these teams. It's like, can we get this? And I just don't know. They have it. But this is just such a huge huge mountain.
Well, Team Dig have already made it past the point that they lost last year. Sniper has already made it past the point where he lost, so anything else would be icing on the cake, except Dig really wants that win. So let's get going with the game 1 of this best of 5 into the Battleground pool, where we will see what bans commence. Now, Team Dignitas actually kind of does the same thing that Gen G does. They ban Braxis Holdout all the time in their region, but have shown at this tournament they're willing to let that go, and they've done it here. We'll see if that comes back to bite them the same way that it nearly did for Gen G.
I mean, the one thing that we always talk about when we're talking Miracle is how they want a team fight and how well they do in these team fights. So the ban that we're seeing coming in from Team Liquid here doesn't shock me too much. They're just simply saying, listen, battlefield that is exactly down the hallmark of our opponent wants to do. Let's take that away from them and play around that strength.
What we saw last time for Miracle on this map was the Ana pick, and it was against Gen G, I believe. So it's a matter of Gen G had an amazing counter draft towards that. Wubby does very good in the drafting role for Dignitas. So see if there's a similar approach to maybe target some of the power plays that they get around the heroes with Frankel and maybe try and manipulate that. The Garrosh we know has been a very strong pick for Miracle, and that's just off the board instantly.
For me, I'm wondering if we're going to be getting that Abathur element that we didn't get in the Team Liquid series, because a lot of Korean teams haven't been banning out the Abathur, and Dignitas is no stranger to running that composition. I mean, against Tempest, they ran Abathur Jaina and completely wiped the floor with them. So I would love to see that in this best of 5 series.
And quite a few teams have, actually from Korea, have struggled into that solo support Abathur. So that's definitely a huge concern, or there has to be for Miracle at some point. They don't really give over a ban just yet. We saw it in the previous series too, but that is something I could see come out from Dignitas.
It's interesting to me to see that Genji ban, considering a lot of teams have been leaving both Maiev and Genji to the second pick team to have to take care of. But that allows Miracle to ban Diablo away, and we may see Judy's Garrosh here.
Jaina's also left open too for Frankel, which has been a major player for him. On that Li Ming in the Jaina has earned them a network of wins in the offseason play.
I mean, with the bans here, you can immediately see how much they are targeting the front line. You have Garrosh banned out, you have Diablo banned out, so the immediate question is then, what are we going for here? Are we going to get Johanna maybe on... are we going to see at some point maybe Muradin coming back, depending on the follow-up that you get here?
A noob.
A noob.
What Miracle ran versus Gen G 2.
When you have JPL, mind you, this is his last tournament. It's whatever. We get the Kerrigan pick, though. We know how devastating that can be. You get the multiple stun lockdown from those 3 heroes alone. Everything else can go around that, so there is a lot to build into. Snitch being shown there. Snitch has been the ultimate flex player for so long, but it seems like every single tournament, he just somehow gets better, and that's not something you traditionally say for somebody that's been around as long as he has.
I would hazard to say, I think he's better than Rich at this tournament.
I would not argue.
Like he's more flexible in those melee assassins, and I didn't think it was possible, but I think he's done it.
The one thing that amazes me most about Snitch is not necessarily even how much he has grown as a player, but as a person. Like, if you've seen him like 1 year or 2 ago here at a big offline event, he was a lot more immature than now, and he's the leader of the team in any aspect. Like, he's the one who presents he's the face of the team, he's the one who echoes their thoughts, he has a calming effect on them. And that translates also in his gameplay. I mean, he has come into an amazing person that is one of the best players that we have in this game right now.
He talked about in an interview last week. He mentioned that when Bakery and crew left, he said, oh, I guess I have to lead this team now.
Yeah.
And he has filled those shoes perfectly, and it's why they are here on the last day of BlizzCon.
Absolutely.
Over to Miracle. Johanna and Urel come.